I wouldn't be so harsh as to call him a fraud. I just see a lot of misinformation as someone who's actually worked in handbags and worked in shoes and has worked in production and have dealt with, a lot of costing in fashion and fashion brands that it's not as he's not transparent as he's making himself out to be. And I think that's why he is so viral. A lot of people like him is because what he's saying is validating a lot of internalized misconceptions and misinformation from the consumers because they don't understand the cost that's involved with a lot of things when you are running a brand. And a lot of people can't afford the high ticket price items from these luxury brands. So there's a lot of anger that is internalized, that's projected, and in turn, like, he's feeding into the misinformation of giving him only his point of view and his perspective about things. But it's not that his perspective is applicable to every brand. And that's what I'm trying to call out. And there has been a video that he actually said that the reason why he's doing these TikTok is because it's cheaper for him to do it than to spend money on a marketing team. So this is what he's not accounting for when it comes to bigger brands. And this is what also consumers don't understand, like why there are big ticket items. Like they don't factor in that those big flagship stores that you see on Fifth Avenue in New York City, like the rent is ridiculously expensive. So where do you think the money is coming from? And then when you see all those ad campaigns, there are art directors, there are photographers, there's teams. There's a lot involved with putting out a campaign to sell you that lifestyle from these luxury brands that he's not factoring in. So, and then there's also like these salaries, especially when you are going to the top tier, the creative directors and whatnot. And there's also profit that needs to be made. And I think like a lot of people don't understand that Kering and LVMH, they are billion-dollar companies at gross, and it's not net, and it's from multiple brands. And the thing is, it's like people don't have an issue when it comes to a brand like Shein, who is actually more of billionaires, like it's only from one brand, and they are making more money in billions than all the combined brands that is under Kering and LVMH. So all this stuff that people don't see that I want to call out, in making those videos, I've seen like people blasting me, calling me like, I'm a fraud. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like all this nonsense. And I just have to laugh at it because it's from sheer ignorance and there's a lot of internalized anger that they want to just stick it to these brands because they can't afford it. And I totally get it, but I just think it's all funny. All these people do not have any issue with Shein being like this multi-billion-dollar company in a span of less than a decade. But they have issue with a company like Kering or LVMH, who are the owners of these parent companies. They're billionaires and they cannot stand it because, they don't understand that even just like it's multi-companies and multi-brands that have produced billionaires, but also it takes like decades, so I think the youngest brand is about like 40 years into these parent companies. And there are some companies or some brands that are under the parent company they've been around for like over 100 years. So it's just all funny to me that people are just mad when I call them out because it's also like they get mad at me because again it's internalized anger that they just want to find like a villain. So hey, if call out these kind of nonsense makes me a villain, then sure, I'll be a villain.